Hi guys, this is the first game with the Umbrick deck that I just drafted. I I didn't actually want to force Umbrick, but I hate Degen so much. I figure I might as well, I guess, show what I know to help spread the knowledge a little bit. Hopefully I can show you guys some interactions between cards that you didn't think of, or little like play nuances. I'm not going to claim that I play perfectly. I actually have been playing Path of Exile for like the last month, so I'm still working my way up to not being as rusty in Soulforge. I haven't touched Constructed at all with like a 10-foot pole since like the last Green Gauntlet. I do plan to participate in the next Green Gauntlet though. I don't have a deck or anything, or maybe that's what I want you to think. So yeah, waiting for an opponent. Um, how good is this deck? I'm not sure. Honestly, I had really some difficult times making it because I've never really had to draft around 3 Spore Lords. That's a lot of fun guy in your deck. Um, I imagine the deck's peak is going to be in rank 2, assuming you can get enough level 2 Spore Lords, and because at that point you're going to be overrunning them with a leveled fun guy. Um, and a 14-14 at rank 3 isn't actually the worst, especially if you have level 3 Spore Lords. But we shall see. This is going to be interesting regardless. Hello, Grooven. I think I played him against him earlier today. Okay, so it's just a second. Just informing my team. Okay, so turn 1, he sees I have 28 cards in my deck, and he sees that they're all fun guy. So there's that. I should level up my fun guy, but since I have so many fun guy in this deck, I think I'm just gonna level up the Spore Lord. Hooray! Reward for greed. Generally, I would want to level up the fun guy because it creates a 12/12 in your deck. Cool. So it can be done here. Can play a fun guy here. Copy it. And I have an option now between bruising the Spore Lord, so he has to do something to the bruiser to make sure that I don't get one more activation off of it next turn, or playing an Earthsign Strength on the Spore Lord, which would do the same thing, but force him to. But it would actually kill the bruiser. I could also bruise the fun guy to make it trade with Ambusher. But I don't care too much about that. I think I'd rather just be able to play another threat and force him to have to do something to the bruiser for me not to get another free activation of Spoiler. Bruiser is, you can think of it as like a very soft gated card. It is okay at rank 2, but it gets really, really efficient at rank 2 onward. Like 8 health is insane. A 14/21 by itself would be like crazy, but the fact that it can pass it around to whatever you want is so strong. Same thing with an 8/11. Yeah, the reason I didn't care too much about doing this because I knew I had still 2 more Spore Lords in my deck. Um, and cards like Torque My Mender and Grapplevine that don't have that much value by themselves, and of course like 3 Bright Tusk Sowers. So I'm really good at dealing with creatures that have small amounts of health left. So he's probably gonna put like an Ether Tap Shaman or something in front of the Tusken Spore. It looks like what he's gearing to do. Maybe he has like a Windweaver or something. Let's move the Ambusher. He needs to kill the Spore Lord, otherwise he's going to be overrun by Fun Guy. He's just not killing the Spore Lord. Oh yeah, he's got a Blood Boil. Okay. That's fair. So This seems relatively straightforward. I could actually have options, I guess. Since I only have one more fun guy left in my deck, right? Yeah, one fun guy, and that's it as far as things that I actually want to copy. The odds aren't great that I'm going to draw it next turn. So I could actually play Spore Lord here. Huh. I could Frost Shatter to kill the Blizzard Shaman. But since I have all of these level Spore Lords, I'd rather start leveling up my plants. And yeah, I'll do it this way. This gets it out of Flame Jet range. And use a power creature so I can get value off of my Brighttusk Sower, which I didn't draw one, that's odd. I had 3. I was very likely to draw a Brighttusk Sower, but at the same time, the player is probably going to Dendrify the Torgmeinder and copy the plant. Which will trade with the Delver. Yeah. Not very harmful. You're turning a 2/5 into a 7/7, but yeah. And now the option exists to either Dendrify my own Spore Lord. Since he has cards like Shardplate Delver, he is in Umbric, so I assume he has to have pump spells too, since he has Delver, and Delver is really bad unless you have like a large amount of pump spells, so Dendrify is going to be at a premium. I could Dendrify my own Spore Lord. I could heal the Tree Folk. There are a number of options here. I don't want Ashurian. I could level up the Ashurian Mystic as well, though that really wouldn't do that much. I could level up the Kadra's Colossus, which would do a pretty significant amount. Either way, I want to resolve first. So, Sharpplate Delver is going to trade with the Tree Folk. Yeah, I'm thinking I'd rather just level up the Colossus. Huh, there's my Brighttusk Sowers. So, barring some pump spell, we're probably going to put a Sower in front of the Pterodon Rex and put the token next to where the Tree Folk used to be. And depending on the play, either Dendrify the plant that I create or Ursine Strength, one of the creatures. Or I could even play Fungi. I don't think playing 2 Sowers is the plan here. Actually, the play might actually just be to play Fungi and then Ursine Strength something or Dendrify something. We'll see what happens. What do I have so far? I really would have killed to have some like Torgmai Guardians in this deck. That would have been so sick. Yeah, I have to be pretty conscious about what I'm leveling and why, because out of 28 cards, or out of 33 cards rather, deck is pretty inconsistent. What did he do? Looks like Frost Shatter Strike and Blood Boil. Yeah, that's what he did. Well, in this case, it kind of blows that he gets to. If I do the Brighttusk Dendrify plan, it does kind of blow that he he gets to use a Teardown Rex one more time. It doesn't. I mean, it's actually not even that bad. Yeah, whatever. This is pretty sweet. Fortunately, our side strength is only +5, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so we can't get the job done. But I'm not complaining. It's always really nice to be able to level up your Dendrifies for value. I tend to play them very aggressively in the beginning because they're so good on the defense late game. Like, free Dendrifies are just crazy good. And he still has to deal with the 2 creatures I have on board, and they're not like tiny, so like he can't deal with them for free. So yeah, this is nice. I have the 2 Dendrifies leveled in my deck, so even if I don't play them, they are live for the rest of the game because they can target any creature. I still want to play them one more time, obviously, to get them to be free, but I'm not obligated to do so. The only thing that sucks is having level 1 Dendrifies in your deck because they can't do anything. You really don't want dead cards in your deck, especially with such a large deck because of the fun guy. So yeah, that mission's accomplished, so that's nice. This Codger's Colossus, while being an 11/11, I really prefer would not to play it if I had the option to, because it doesn't actually scale that well, and I am definitely going to be gearing towards the late game with this deck because of Tuss's Warlord, which takes over the game so well late game, especially with leveled Ursine strengths, which I actually don't have at the moment, I don't believe, so I have none. I didn't level up for any of the strengths. Or the Frost Shatters. Okay, so Teardown Rex makes that a pretty solid trade for him. Not trade, just eats it. Okay, so options here. Obviously I'm playing the Spore Lord. Be playing it in this lane just to make sure if he puts anything with mobility to kill it, that it has the least amount of range of movement. So I have an option to either gun for board control with Codger's Colossus, or play Grapplevine, Spirit Bloom Dryad, or Lava Fused Acer. Lava Fused Acer at rank 2 is actually, it's tiny at every rank, so this card kind of blows unless you're like way ahead. But I mean, it does end the game pretty quickly if you're ahead. Grapplevine has almost no merit whatsoever to leveling. I'm sure he has mobility since he's Umbric, but I actually think the player is to play Cautious Colossus. The card is difficult to deal with. And his board's not stellar, he has a 5/1, so yeah. It's not nowhere close to even being able to heal itself. Oh, this would have been sick if I actually drew a level 2 fun guy. Where you at? I only have 1 copy of level 2 fun guy, I think, yeah. You just want to get the card to level 2, it doesn't matter after that. It'll take over the game regardless, but you just need to get past this level 1. It's actually almost preferable level 2, so you're not too pressured to like aggressively level up your Spore Lords. It doesn't get too much bigger at rank 3. 10/18 is actually pretty respectable. It trades with most things, but you really want to get all of your cards to rank 2, so you have the redundancy to be able to combo them together with each other. You don't want like all level 3 from Fun Guy and like all level 1 Spore Lords. It's kind of just gross. Like 2/10s are terrible as an underdrop. You'll never get use out of them. Oh, okay, yeah. And for the sake of discussion, the tree folk that Dendrify produces is always rank 1, so that's really nice. That is a pretty good interaction with under leveled creatures. With under leveled Spore Lords rather. So the options here are to pump up the Spore Lord to make him have to deal with it in some other way. That's most likely also because I want a level 3 Bruiser in my deck. And probably level up the sower. Actually, leveling up this mender might be better here, so I can actually create like a huge threat with Colossus. So this is gonna be at 5. I could put it back to 11, which is really difficult to kill. So putting the mender here, copying the mender, putting it there. So I have a mender, Cautious Colossus, and a Spore Lord, all of which are threats. So yeah, so mender here, copying, pumping itself so it lives. Copying this over here. And this over here. It's a really irritating board for him to deal with now. I have creatures on every lane. And they're all relatively difficult to deal with. 10 is so much harder to deal with than 9. Flame Jet, for example, hits for 9. Same thing with the Shutterbolt at rank 2. He doesn't have a Shutterbolt though, but if he did. 10 is within the range of Blood Boil rank 1. So 13 is the next threshold for like not being able to kill things, which is to say you have a level 3 Flame Jet at rank 3, or a level 2 Blood Boil at rank 2. So yeah, so the magic numbers against Umbric are 10, then 13. This game is really looking bad for him. It doesn't actually matter too much what I do. Obviously I'm playing the Spore Lord, and it's a tie between playing a Mender and playing Ursine Strength. Yeah, in this case, Ursine Strength obviously wins because I have a million creatures. Though, interestingly enough, if I mend the Colossus, it goes back up to a 10. Or I could create 3 threats, which seems better. So I'll do that. I really like having level 2 Ursine Strengths in my deck in rank 3. They're super efficient at rank 2. Kicked. 9 is pretty nice. Take 22 damage to kill the Colossus. Or, I mean, so he thinks, I guess, since I have the onboard trick of Tusken Spore Lord to be able to do something about that. Yeah. I guess he's desperate. I mean, he's obviously desperate, but we'll see what happens here. Gonna pump the Spore Lord. Spore Lord. This game's over. There's no real reason to like tank too hard on this, on my side at least. There's almost no card. There actually is no card in the game that can get him out of this situation. Not with me at 74 at any rate. But I will wait for it to be official, I guess. Hopefully he doesn't time me out. Well, that's game 1. I'll be back for game number 2.